This is Lee Ridley. I was lucky enough to achieve 2 promotions with Scunthorpe United, but nothing compares to the joy I experience when listening to the Iron Hour podcast. Just a heads up, this podcast contains strong language. You know, the good stuff. If this isn't for you, turn off now. For the rest of you, now fucking enjoy the podcast.
And thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Iron Hour podcast. This is your Scunthorpe United dedicated podcast. I'm joined by 3 of my usual panel. I've got Max, Gareth, aka Iron Army, and the Italian stallion Marco. How are you doing, chaps? Marco, kick us off.
As well as can be. I know we're going to have to brush over Tuesday, but having time to sit back and not soak it in, but come to terms with it. I'm okay on the bigger picture.
You don't sound okay.
I'm all right. I slow down. I definitely won't crying on Tuesday night, that's for sure.
Gareth, have you had time to come to terms with the result on Tuesday?
I have. So I've slept on it. You know, things are looking rosy again. I'm happy. I'm not deflated.
And Max, which stage of grief are you at? Have you reached acceptance yet, or is it still very much denial?
Oh no, halfway house. I think I've reached anger, and I'm not going to pretend the other two that, you know, on over Tuesday, because it was very disappointing. Another very big crowd. Was that one winning 13 at home in front of crowds of more than 5,000 now, something like that. Yeah.
There goes my stats section. Cheers, chaps. That's great, that. So yeah, I mean, let's kick off with the game then. That's the only place we have to start. So Tuesday night was top of the table clash. We hosted Tamworth at home. Going into the game, we did have the 2 games in hand, but they were 9 points clear. So really, win that game, the gap's down to 6 points with the 2 games in hand. So very much we're looking like the team who can challenge for top spot. Obviously, it's not gone that way. We'll try and break the game down as much as we can. But Marco, if you can just take me back to before the game, what was your feeling going into it? Was you confident? Was you quite nervous?
Yeah, I thought we'd win, and I thought we'd win comfortably, because it's one of them, like we've said it in recent weeks on the podcast. We said it for a long time this season. We want teams to come and have a go, and it's sort of played into our favour with your South Shields game. Obviously, they were in a run of form. They came and had a go, and we picked them off. And you think that's how we're going to win games this season, just outclassing teams. But yeah, before the game, obviously we'll go into it, but I did think we'd win. I thought we'd be more up for it. I thought we'd have more quality. Obviously, they're on this fantastic run, but like I said, it's just the hope that kills you. But I genuinely did think we'd win, and win well.
Gareth, obviously, has been alluded to. We had over 5,000 fans.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember off the top of my head, but I feel like Brackley, we just reached the 5K as well. So I think it's the second time this season we've had that figure at home. Was you pleased with the turnout?
Yeah, really pleased. But I think it was to be expected. In all fairness, it's like top of the table, isn't it? First, second, so much riding on it. And yeah, it was a Tuesday night. It was cold, but yeah, so it was good. It was a good turnout. And credit to the Tamworth fans as well for coming up. I think it was 249, was it? So it was a good turnout from them as well. But yeah, it was just before the game, I put money on us winning 4-0. You know, so maybe I'm the idiot of the week.
You are certainly the idiot of the week. Sorry. We just need to go over this. You put actual cash.
It was only £5, but yeah, 45-1. So, but I thought we were going to win big as well, and I wasn't the only one. There were quite a few others thinking that, but it was just wasn't to be.
So, Max, I mean, I don't know where really to start with the analysis of the game. I'm probably going to give you free rein at this point just to tell me whatever you want to. But I mean,
so this is where I make the confession that I did the opposite of what Gareth did. As soon as Denton got sent off, I logged straight on the Sky bet and put a fiver on Tamworth winning. And Marco's pulled a funny face there, but you know, if there's anyone that knows anything about changing sides, it's an Italian. So.
That's not where I thought you were going to go. I thought you were going to go with, if there's anyone that knows about dodgy in-play betting, it's the Italians.
Jesus Christ, lads, what face?
That's a good joke. Look, it was very frustrating. I think you could make a non-insane case that on the balance of the 90 minutes, a point would have probably been the right result. But unfortunately, we were in a dual situation whereby we didn't have enough quality in the final third to fundamentally score. Although I did think Tamworth defended well, actually. They made really key blocks at sort of 5 or 6 moments. When you look back on, the free kick that didn't clear the first man from us, the 2 corners that were cleared 5 yards in front of the near post, Semi Ferris's cross that sent people in the Donny Road end ducking for cover. And then, yeah, look, anybody who saw it at the time or has seen it back, their goal was just awful. It's just awful, awful defending from Tyler Denton, just horrendous. And fundamentally, the red card changed the game. If we'd had 11 men for 90 minutes, I think we'd have got something out of it. It might have been 0-0, and we might have still been disappointed, and we might have thought we'd have missed an opportunity. But yeah, the red card changed the game for me completely.
Gareth, I don't know if this is a bit of a cop out, so give me your thoughts. But do you think the occasion got to us? Do you think we kind of gave the game away? We let everything get on top of us and chucked it away, or actually we're being a bit naive there, and really Tamworth have come to town. They're top of the league for a reason, and they found a way to win a game. It might not have been pretty, it might not have been total football, but maybe the better team on the night won.
I think for me, Tamworth were the better team on the night. I thought they were the better team. I just thought we were so slow, so methodical, and just trying to walk it through again, or we'd get in a position and pass it back again. And I thought they just seized on the ball when they got it. They drove forward. They've got Tonks with that massive throw-in, causing havoc at the back for us. First few minutes, Fitzsimmons had to pull 2 saves off from throw-ins. And I just think that on the night they were the better team. And people will say they were rubbish. I've read on media, that people thought they were rubbish and they got lucky. But for me, they didn't get lucky. They're up there for a reason. You're not top of the league after so many games because you're lucky. And I do think the occasion got to us again. It's like once again in front of a big crowd, we just don't perform. So it's like this Chester game, they're wanting to get the National League North record. And after Tuesday night, I hope there's about 3,000 there. Just so we have a chance to win it.
So Barrow's completely frozen. So we'll just go without him.
Okay.
I've always wanted to do this. Oh, now he's just disappeared. Beautiful. And before the chat, he was slagging Marco off for his own tech problems, and frankly, it serves him right. I think
I'll just second sort of what Gareth said, mate. With big crowds, every time Jimmy Dean says all the right things. So, like, obviously beforehand in the interview, saying we're going to be bang up for it, we're going to be in the fight, and I just think all these big games when the crowd does turn up, like you said with Bracken and everything, we crumble. We literally crumble, and I think it needs to be more a case now where, let's be honest, we're National League North. We should be playing games down rather than bigging games up to the extent that we were the other day. Like, that should just be another game to us, and it's not a big occasion. I feel like we've built it up to be an occasion. It should just be another league game and a job where we need to go there, get our 3 points, and that's game over, rather than this huge spectacle of us being do or die win on that Tuesday. Because I think it got to the team, and you can see that. And I just think Tamworth had the basics right, like Gareth said. I don't know his name. I forgot his name, but that bloke who could chuck it at the side, could chuck it over the bridge. Oh my God. I was so fed up of his throws. But in this league, you play to your strengths. Not everyone's got the players that we have.
Them throw-ins were great. I don't care what division you're in, what kind of side you are. If you've got a lad who can throw it that far, and we all saw it on the opening day.
Yeah, so effective.
He's finding the back post from the other wing. Like, I'd love a lad who, if any of our players could chuck it in like that.
And the worst thing is, we can't even put a corner in like that. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. His throws are a lot more effective than our corners. We struggle to clear the first man a lot of the time.
Yeah, we could talk about Tamworth for an hour without Barrow. It was just honestly so disappointing. But like you said, now we have our time to sort of sit back and see where we're at. we win these 2 games in hand, and it is only 6 points again.
Yeah.
But where did Tamworth drop points? I mean, they are just they're a force at the moment because I think they know what they're good at and they play to it.
Yeah.
And sometimes, I mean, I love Clunan; he's my favourite player, but I feel like in this league, I've not seen many teams play with that sort of number 6 role in front of a back line. And I feel like it's a luxury at the minute, like we're being able to keep the ball ticking over and possession. Whereas I think Tuesday night was a game I was screaming out for Shrimpton or Pugh to start and just let's get at them. Sort of, we're at home instead of. I think we were too nice. Obviously, they put in a lot of big challenges, which the ref let go. The elbow before obviously Denton's red, but got missed. I mean, to be fair, I bought the game and I missed back the first, so I don't know where the referee was, how hard it was to see that. But I mean, it's so blatant. When looking back at replays, I don't know how he stayed on the pitch.
Like I say, the ref weren't even that far behind. Actually, he was following play, so I don't know if somebody obstructed him or not in seeing it. But it's like it was Creaney that did it as well. It was his elbow, and so then later on he goes to score, doesn't he? So
To be fair,
go
on, Max.
No, I was just going to say, like, when you're running for a title race, good sides win games despite bad referees. Like the one I always remember, I don't know if you other Scully fans will, was the year Scully won League One, went away to Crewe on a Tuesday night, and the refs got in the way of the Scully midfielder, blocked the ball. Back in the days when you had to play on if the ball hit the ref, Crewe went up the other end and scored, and you could see the Scully players were furious, like in the middle of a title race, but then they snapped, and even the Humberside commentary at the time was saying, they've made Scunthorpe angry. They'll regret this now. Went and scored 3 goals in 20 minutes, won the game 3-1, and they used it as a positive force. I thought there was a few things we got wrong. I thought we missed Whitehall, to be honest. I thought he made a difference when he came on. I thought Senby Ferris actually looked a bit, apart from the cross that he skied, I thought he looked a bit lively when he came on, actually. A bit of pacing behind, stretch the play. And look, I don't want to question Jimmy Dean tactically because we can all be armchair managers, but Beeston played in 2 positions on Tuesday night. He played on the right wing, and then after Denton got sent off, they took Elliott off for Kelly. Played him as a false 9. Like, it's fine for people to criticise Beeston, but if you're getting played out of position twice at a game that's still 0-0 and you're well in, I was disappointed. I thought we misused Beeston. I didn't like it when we were playing with no striker. I thought it didn't give us an outball. It put the defenders and the midfielders under unnecessary pressure. And if you're looking for a bit of creativity in the middle of the park to actually try and act as a number 10, maybe feed off Elliott, who I thought had looked isolated for long periods, then Beeston's that man through the middle. Frustrations, but hopefully there'll be a few things they can fix for Saturday in Rushall.
Well, I'm back.
Yes, who's back?
So I have no idea what was just said over the past 5 minutes. I'm sure it was great content, but the Cats basically just knocked the router over. So yeah, we had no Wi-Fi.
The cat or cat?
Good one. The Cats.
That's not even the worst joke I've made tonight, so count yourself lucky.
No, that was the Italian one. That was borderline racism on this podcast.
So, Gareth, what changes would you make for Saturday, tactically or personnel?
Yeah, okay, so I thought the biggest problem on Tuesday night is, for me, when we play teams who are quite direct and get the ball into the box, and that's no slight on Tamworth, but that's what they were on Tuesday, I don't understand why the likes of Boyce is on the bench. So if we're playing against pacey attackers, I fully get it. You probably want Coogan there in the middle because he is quicker. He's probably a little bit of a better tackler. But for balls in the box, air domination, there's like, there's no one better than Andy Boyce. For me, it was a big mistake not having him. So what am I expecting on Saturday? I'm probably expecting a similar kind of tactics, really, from Rushall. Obviously, I know they're not as good football wise. They are where they are in the table for a reason. But I do expect, if anything, they'll probably be more direct. They're going to try and get the ball in the box, try and hang it up. Throws will be a threat, I'm sure of it. So for me, it starts from the back. We have to make sure that that back four is disciplined, and it starts with making that right choice in that centre back partnership. So that'd be the first choice I'd make. The second
So I,
one
I,
would,
I want I want to push back on that a little bit actually because I don't think we defended that badly. You know that if it's not for Denton, it's not Boyce or Coogan who's making that, who's holding that as a centre half. I don't really think that Coogan or for that matter any of them defending set pieces did it really make a difference on the game. I'm not so sure.
so I'm going to push back on you and say the fact that they did score from a set piece kind of bears out what I'm saying to be something resembling truth. Obviously, it was second phase, probably even third phase, and I've listened to Jimmy Dean's argument where he kind of said, Ogle had picked up the wrong man after going down. Again, maybe not quite what I saw. I did see obviously that Ogle was on the deck. Of course, I saw that, but he'd already lost that man. Like I don't didn't quite see things the same way that interview kind of portrayed, but fully maybe the highlights are a bit condensed because certainly seeing it live, I didn't see that either. But so that'd be the first thing I do. The second thing would be to probably bring Whitehall back. I do rate Danny Elliott, as you guys know, but it's just really not clicked the last three games. Now, correlation isn't necessarily causation, but the fact that Whitehall hasn't been available for the last three games has coincided with our dip in form. So, I think that's the first place I go to. So I don't know if what else.
Question. Would you drop Elliott altogether slash to the bench, or would you play Whitehall through the middle and out wide? And that's probably a question for Marco and Gareth as well, because I see Marco nodding.
Yeah,
Yes.
100%. I think we've became. I think these last three games have shown how reliant we are on Whitehall, which is not a good thing. I don't think we've got another dimension to our game. Whitehall being injured, like Barry said, it's coincided with this bad run we're on. We look strongest with Elliott on the left and Whitehall through the middle. I hadn't actually spoke since you was running through the Tamworth game, but Semi Ferris did look a genuine threat when he came on. I know that cross was a bit wayward at the end, but we haven't really. I know Law's injured as well. He's been called back. I feel like we have to use him. I feel like that pace to get him behind defences, especially if teams are coming at us to have a go now. I think that'll be vital. But yeah, Whitehall's availability, I think, is dependent on whether we go up or not, which is quite scary because he's with one injury off calling Richie Bennett back, which I really don't want. So,
No, I think
there's something
right.
to keep you up at night.
I think Whitehall does need to start. He just brings a different dimension to the game. It's not just his play; it's his off ball as well. It's just shithousery, just everything like that, And I know you say we've been it's like coincided with a bad run it has been, but let's not forget we won at Peterborough Sports.
Yeah.
It wasn't on the pitch then. I know it wasn't the greatest, it's a 1-0 win, but yeah, we do need him to be starting for me.
The other thing I would change is, and I know we sponsor him, and and he's been fantastic this season. But I just thought we kind of hemorrhaged possession in the middle of the park, and for me, I was kind of pointing the finger at Clunan for that. Really, if I'm being honest, I thought the game for the last 30-35 minutes, especially with us dropping down to 10 men, was crying out for someone to come in the middle of the park and just shore up possession. I was looking at the bench and thinking, if there's ever a scenario made for getting Tom Pugh on the pitch, it's now. Now, I said that to another fan and they said, but if there's a player likely to get sent off, it's him. So do you really want to risk it? Well, you can't play a football game thinking, well, what if that player gets sent off? At the end of the day, we were hemorrhaging possession in the middle of the park and we needed to gain some control. It's all well and good having these players who, can spray the ball out wide and look fantastic on the ball. But when you can't retain possession and you're 1-0 down, it's not good, is it?
Yeah,
So
I think
I would say
nail on head.
I would say two things. I would say two things against that. I think when Clooney had a good game of Peterborough Sport, actually. I thought he was pretty good in the middle of the park there. And look, if we were the Premier League and you could make 5 substitutions, I'd have certainly been calling for that. But you're in a situation where because you've gone down to 10 men, you've got to bring Kelly on. You've got to play him at left back. And to be honest, I'd be giving Kelly a chance at a run in the side now. And you have to bring Whitehall on as well. So that's 2 out of 3 subs. So out of Kelly, Whitehall, and Sembi Ferris, who we agreed looked like a bit of a threat. If you bring in Pugh on, you're sacrificing one of those options.
And for me, I'd have sacrificed Sembi Ferris whilst it was 0-0. The point is, they'd made the subs and then they scored, so it's kind of a bit redundant. But for me, I would have sacrificed Sembi Ferris. If it was 0-0, the risk of losing the game versus keeping hold of that point, I'd have sacrificed that attacker with 10 men and said, you know what, if we get out of here with a 0-0 draw, it's not the end of the world. Let's try and gain some control back of the game. Now, obviously, it's a different conversation once we go 1-0 down, but as I say, those subs had already been made, so we can't have that conversation. So I would stick by my point.
I'm not necessarily sure I agree with that, but that's football. That's football. We have different opinions.
So which bit do you disagree with then, Max? The fact that we made the subs before we went 1-0 down, because that is factual. That did happen.
I'm not. Oh God, honestly, he has IT problems, and he comes back and he's all sarky and aggressive, and he's trying to make up for lost time. I'm not necessarily as convinced that Pugh on for Clunan would have been as sure a thing to give us a little bit more calmness in possession in front of the back four.
That's fine.
I'm not as. I hope it's fine.
But do you accept we were giving possession away in the middle of the park?
I think hemorrhaging, which was the word you used too far, was a little bit too far. I think I had greater concerns over the don't interrupt, Andrew. I had greater concerns about our quality in the final third, where, as we discussed when you were off air, we had 3 set pieces that didn't beat the first man that contrasted with their throw-ins. Sembi Ferris's, one moment of real frustration when he cleared it cross into the stand. There were other tactical frustrations I had. I didn't like the fact that we played Beeston out of position twice. I'd have maybe probably dropped him into the middle of the park instead. But yeah, I'm not as convinced that I like Pugh, but I think his greatest asset is out of possession. When he's winning tackles, when he's snapping at your legs, he's been a bit ferocious, as opposed to some of the in possession assets.
So, what changes would you make ahead of the game on Saturday?
To be honest, I actually agree with most of what was said by the others. I play it out wide. I play Whitehall through the middle. We have missed him. I'm now actually probably more annoyed at Whitehall than I was before because his sending off at Farsley was just. I know the replay showed them to be play active, but it was self-inflicted. Like Whitehall grabbed his leg, he went down melodramatically, he approached the Farsley defender. It was just needless.
What's more? What annoys me more is that I don't think that's the last time that'll happen this season, because you just know that's his game. So we've been waiting, like you said, it was so petty and unnecessary, like you've just said. He's got that in him every single game, which you don't want him to lose, but at the same, we don't have any other option. We need him to we just need him to be on his best behaviour. We shouldn't be telling that to our players. It's like what do you call it? Mike Bass, England manager. He's like, oh yeah, what? Yeah, he only was on the pitch 20 minutes. Yeah, what a 20 minutes. You know what I mean? We just need them all to go out and just sort of. Danny Whitehall, at the minute as well, I didn't think we would miss. I remember on our last podcast, I was saying, if Smith does go, I don't think it's going to be as big as losses we're making out. And I think I'm going to be made to eat my words. Because I really do think he would have had an impact on Tuesday. And I feel like we could really do with him now. I saw he got his move, so congrats to lad. But yeah, we really wish we weren't under this embargo.
But going back to Whitehall and his like play acting and messing around, the first thing he did when he came on the pitch on Tuesday night was push their defence, just let him know he was there, just give him a shove. Do you know what I mean? And I like that. I know he's got his something away from a booking or a sending off, but he just plays on the edge, and that's his game, and that's what he brings to the team. And it's just ruffles up feathers in the opposition. And yeah, it was stupid at Farsley, but that's how he gets through his games. That's how he gets through his games. If he wants to rile people, and and at the time, as fans, we're loving it. If you're a Tamworth fan or an opposition fan, you see him, you think, bastard. Do you know what I mean? And you want him on your team. But for me, I just let him get on with it. Let him do what he's doing. Granted, we don't want him sending off every week or every other week, but, just let him get on with it. And if he wants to be a little twat, let him be a little twat. I'm all for it.
So the gap currently stands at 12 points then. I'm going to go around the group. Marco, kick off with you first. What hopes do you have of us kind of clawing that back and making this a two-dog fight again?
I looked at the odds, and the bookmakers have still got us favourites, which I feel's a little bit disrespectful to Tamworth, because a 12-point gap now. Obviously, they're thinking we're going to win these two in hand, and they're thinking Tamworth will slip up. I don't think they lose. From now to the end of the season, I don't think they'll lose more than 4 to 5 games after what I saw. But I feel like they know what they're good at. I'm fully braced. I know we said the other day, I'm fully prepared for the playoffs. Win these 2 games in hand, and I know they've got a tough run coming up. If they slip up, a draw or a loss somewhere, we win these 2. Yeah, game on. It's non-league. Do you know what I mean? Anything can happen. I'm not too. Tuesday night, I was done. It's playoffs, and then it's a lottery, and then we sort of down. But now, like you said, we seem to always get the most confident when you're not playing, and you always think you can tell yourself, we'll be fine. We'll beat them. And when it comes to reality, and you're like, yeah, maybe not. But yeah, it's game on, because win these 2 games, you never know. But I am sort of coming to terms with the playoffs now, unfortunately.
Gareth?
I think on the night, on Tuesday night, I was like, that was it, they've won the title. I put a little short out on YouTube with the winning goal, or the only goal. And so that goal won the championship for them, won the title for them. But having looked back, slept on it, read and stuff, I just think we have still got a chance. Like I say, we've got them 2 games in hand. It's imperative we win those 2 games in hand. But if, like Marco says, you can't see them losing, like if they lose 4 or 5 games and we win our games, it's that's how it works, isn't it? But I can't see them losing 4 or 5 either. But and other people saying the pressure's on them now. There's no pressure on us anymore. I don't think there is any pressure on them. They're not even expected to be up there. No one was thinking before the season kicked off, Tamworth are going to be contenders. So I don't think there's any pressure really for them. I just can't see it. But I do think we will catch them. I think it will. There's definitely more, to and fro-in between now and the end of the season. Like I say, if we can win them 2 games, they lose a game, we win that game with 3 points behind, and then they've got some tough fixtures coming up as well. Let's not forget that. So as of we, but I do think that it's not over yet. On Tuesday night, it was all over, doom and gloom. But having slept and reconsidered, I'm feeling more positive than I was. We've just got to turn up and do what we do and do what we know we can do. So yeah, I'm going for it. We're going up, champions. Let's have it.
Max, have you got the same level of positivity?
No, I think Gareth and Marco are on 2 books.
By the way, for the record, I'm with Gareth and Marco on this one.
Okay. Marco, what bookmakers have got us as title favourites? Because
I've not actually checked myself. I saw, not tight favourites, I saw somebody on Twitter put that we were still 5-2 as of last night.
Okay, sorry. In your previous spiel, you said that some of the bookies still had us as favourites to win the title.
You did say that. You did, mate.
Yeah, a Tamworth short of 5-2.
That's
You
literally
tell
what I'm
us, mate.
asking you.
You're the one who's come up with a mental statement.
It was a Scunthorpe fan on Twitter. I don't know.
Well, it's true.
We
It's
were
true.
5-2 and still favourites to win the league, which is mental.
Okay. If Tamworth are 5-2 to win the league, okay, all right. If Tamworth, if you're saying that we're favourites, and that means that Tamworth are more than 5-2, my advice to the people of the world is to go down the bank, get your life savings out, and lump on Tamworth. That's a crazy price if that's true. That's a crazy price.
Well, that is a crazy price, but it's also crazy to say what you've just said. You've just endorsed people to put the life savings.
Please bet responsibly.
Wise words. Right, but on a serious note, the Tamworth at the minute are 12 points clear.
I am very wrong. I'm very wrong. So we've got Tamworth at 1-2 on.
Okay.
I take it back.
Don't put your life savings on that basis then. The bookmakers have got more sense.
Yeah, Scunthorpe are 9-4, and then third in the listing. There's 5 joint thirds with Alferton, Scarborough, Chester, and Brackley and Chorley all coming in at 66-1.
Can I just say what a podcast this is? I mean,
at the minute, Tamworth on their points per game average are looking at about 104. We'll end up with 90/91 because we're averaging just under 2 points a game in a minute. To get to 100, we'd have to average between now and the end of the season 2.5 points a game.
Yeah.
We would have to put ourselves in semi-respectable contention. We'd have to go on a brilliant run. And right now, particularly away from home, I don't think we've got that level of, for want of a better word, consistency. Yeah. And look, let's be fair. If we get 92 points this season, that is the best ever points haul of any Scunthorpe side ever. You know, the year we won League One, they got 91. And that was a brilliant Scunthorpe side. Won the league at a canter, magnificent. But when it's one up and you have one side who has a great year, then it's not enough. Yeah. I just don't see it. I think Markham made a great point earlier, actually, and I agree. I think we've missed Smith. I really do. And at this moment in time, I don't see how we catch Tamworth. Even if they don't drop enough points, we would have to go on a crazy run. I think we'll finish second because right now I think we're the second best side in this league. And with the playoff format in this division, you just have to win 2 one-off games at home. And I think we probably have got that in us. But yeah, it's going to be it'd be nervous if that's what it comes to.
So the reason why, the reason why I think we will win the league, or why, I should probably rephrase it. The reason why I think I'm probably a lot more hopeful than you are, Max, is because Tamworth's run has been incredible up to this point. Now, the law of averages tells me that it surely cannot be sustained. Like I think I worked out earlier, they've won 9 of the last 11 or something similar to that. And I thought if that was to continue on for 5 games, that would mean they'd won 16 of 18, which is just mental. Like it's just, for me, it's just not going to happen. I'm kind of putting all my chips on the fact that their season has been culminating to this point. They've got a big lead over us. They've now beaten us away from home. They're going to think, not in the clear, but we've put ourselves in a really strong position. I'm kind of banking on that being their cup final, and it's going to be the rocket up our arse, and we're going to kind of go on a run ourselves. So that's kind of my logic. I know it's born out of a lot of emotion, but also I just cannot see that they can sustain it because, like you say, our best ever season would be 92 points. And your current calculation would see, based on current performance, would see Tamworth achieve 100 points. For a part-time team, that's mental. Like, mental.
Yeah. Even if Tamworth comes second, their manager deserves Manager of the Year, but unanimously, they've done a magnificent job. Obviously, they've lost their main man in centre midfield to Walsall just before playing us. It didn't look like it to me. And, even on the opening day of the season, we went away to Tamworth. We were pretty fortunate to come away with 3 points there. Our 2 goals were a big own goal and a massive deflection. Like, I I think Tamworth are going to win the league, and I'd be prepared to bet money with anybody else who thinks otherwise.
And also, right, Max, if Tamworth do win the league, like if they win the next 5-6 games or something, or if they win 7 of the next 8, like there'll be no complaints from any of us. Like obviously they're the better team, and it's not going to have come down to one Tuesday night at the back end of January, is it? Like if they do continue on this run, then quite clearly they deserve to be champions.
100%. I totally agree.
Which is why I don't think they will.
Well, look, we'll come back at the end of April, and look, if we go up, we won't care, will we?
Yeah. Right. Before we kind of move on to the funner section, then we'll just go on to the Iron Stats of the week, brought to us by Iron Stats. So Tuesday was the 148th league game played on a Tuesday night at the Attis Arena. At an attendance of 5,277, it's the 16th highest on a Tuesday night and the highest since we were in League One. Okay, so that was also the highest on any day of the week since we played Grimsby in March 2020. So high attendance, we've spoke about it already. Kind of just looking ahead, and again, I don't know what you spoke about when I was off, but probably 5 minutes we'll spend looking ahead to the next couple of fixtures. Let's be as quick as we can. Max, going into Rushall and Blythe, 6 points up for grabs. What's your expectation?
I think from a confidence point of view, it needs to be 6 points. I probably would fancy us to beat Rushall at home. They're 18th, but for arguably the smallest club in this division, 18 is a really terrific result for them. I don't think they'll be as attacking as Tamworth. I think they'll look to keep it tight, keep it compact, and we'll have to break them down. We'll have to have more quality in the final third. So, I'm looking to Whitehall really to have a really big impact.
Gareth?
Yeah. No, I think we should beat Rushall. That's no disrespect to them. Although when we played them at their place, they did put up a good fight. In all fairness, they played quite well. But I just think it's it's a game we've got to win. Just for confidence, we've got to come out and do what we need to do, and just go at them from the off, and not think, it's only Rushall, we're going to beat them because it's Rushall. We need to be on top performance really, and just don't put pressure on ourselves, but just play our game and do what we do best. And I think we can get the result. We can get 3 points. If we don't get the 3 points, then we'll cross that in the next pod.
Marco, as I say, then 6 points.
It has to be 6 points. There's not even a debate. Anything less is absolute failure. I don't think Blythe will be easy. I don't think it'll be easy away. But if we've got serious intentions of getting promoted, we have to be going to teams like that and winning, because you can bet your bottom dollar that Tamworth do. Rushall at home on Saturday is different. I don't think there's any excuses at all. Just in the gulf of quality that we've got compared to them. Again, without being disrespectful, we'll come and make it difficult, but I do think we should have more than enough, even with a bad day. But yeah, Blythe won't be a handout in no way. But yeah, 6 points, nothing less. And I think if Tamworth slip up one game within those 2 wins, I think we've got a race again.
Well, they only play once. So
Yeah.
they go away to Alfreton on Saturday, which is a tough game. Like Alfreton, I think, had gone 6 games unbeaten, but then did lose, I think, 3-2 to Chorley on Tuesday night. But that was like a back and forth game. So, Alfreton are no mugs. It's going to be a really tough game for them now.
I've always liked Alfreton. Always liked them. Good set of lads, good team.
So if we win our next 2 games, we will have reduced the gap by at least 3 points. So if we win our next 2 games, the gap will be worst case scenario 9 points.
Game on. Get the bus booked.
Yeah, could be best case scenario. Bus booked?
Did you say get the bus as in the open top bus parade?
Good grief.
Right, even if we do win the title, no open top bus parade, please.
You're not invited,
absolutely. Yeah, you're not invited, mate. You're quite rude and nasty.
The Iron Hour open top bus.
Yeah, with no Max.
Some do. With no Max.
It's going to be like one of them videos you see where a Sunday League side wins, the fifth division, and they all get an open top bus and they're at it with the flares.
Yeah, just like that, mate. Yeah. So I forgot. I've lost train of thought. Right, hero, idiot, and moment of the guys. This is back of a fact packet stuff. Like, I don't even know what's going on. Max, who's your hero of the week?
So my hero of the week, I think, probably wouldn't be a surprise to many who went along to the Attis Arena on Friday. I know myself and Gareth were there. It was a really successful race night, really good. Highlight was probably the directors pitching in. You know, they had Simon Elliott serving cutlery. They had Michelle Arness giving up the pie and peas, which had been donated by Danny Stamp and the Smoking Goat. Even just back at the Fag Packet Master, I reckon it had raised probably £4.5 grand for the club. But I think, you know, it's nice like that to show what a community club's about. And yeah, so my hero of the week would be Rusty, who'd organising it and suggested it, and you know, everyone who pitched in. It was a really good night. Well done, everyone.
Nice one, Marco.
Hero, mine. I imagine a lot of our fan base will agree with me here. Is Rob Apter. I'm sure you all saw it on the weekend. Yeah, brightened up my day. I wasn't too happy, but yeah, Apter doing that. Love it. It's Van Veen-esque, which, let's be honest, every single Scunny fan would love to do. So, yeah, Rob Apter. He knows he's a Scunny lad deep down.
Just for anyone that didn't catch this, so Rob Apter scored against Grimsby and absolutely mugged their fans off. So simple as that. Gareth,
I believe Paddy Madden scored against Donny as well, didn't he? It was a good weekend for ex-Scunny lads.
My hero was also Rusty in the team from the race night, because it was a good night. It was a long night and it was well attended. And I spoke to him at the Tamworth game, and he said they'd raised 4,700. So, which is all good, you know. It's a good thing.
Then,
so
Max's back of a fag packet maths isn't terrible, is it?
No, it's not.
200 quid off.
But no, it was just good to see. Good to see all the directors getting involved and being there, you know, and just playing the part.
And as well, there were a couple of people on our table, particularly Gareth, who really got into watching the traitors during between the races.
Traitors on.
You will love. I've done it during the podcast. You will love the tweet that I have just done off the podcast account. It involves Claudia Winkleman. So
nice.
That's just for you.
Yeah, I have no issues with that at all. I'm a big fan. Massive fan.
It's those huge. It's that huge fringe.
Look,
Marco,
as somebody you're speaking as somebody who can't grow that fringe unless you fly out to Istanbul. We're just jealous.
Well, yeah, absolutely, mate. Your hairline's
all the way
like
down
a Jurgen Klopp formation, isn't it, with a flying wing bags kicking on.
I'll stay quiet here because I'll just get called bald on Twitter.
You're a bald boxer.
By some obsessed people. So let's move on.
Can I just say as well, Gareth, your lisp is getting so much worse. Like thucker and thucker taff.
It's Zoom.
It's Zoom.
It's Zoom.
Right. We're not.
He's got Iron Army, not just Gareth. Otherwise, I thought it'd be Gareth Gates.
Right, we're not mocking speech impediments. The line in the sand is coming there. I'm not having this. Bugger off.
But Gareth doesn't have one. This is the problem.
It's more of a sound impediment.
Moment of the week, fellas.
So, do you want to kick us off, Max?
Yes. And I will press this by saying that this is my moment of the week because we had it. It was confirmed that this person was not seriously injured whilst doing this. Gareth, yes. Sorry, Gareth.
Sorry, can I? I don't think I said actually. I've awarded the points to both Gareth and Max for Rusty.
What?
Thank you.
That's absolute bull.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there, Max. Although I did take pleasure in doing it.
It's okay because I think Gareth has twigged who it's going to. So massive credit to Maidstone for reaching the fifth round of the FA Cup. As a National League South side, Scunthorpe have only ever got to the fifth round in our history twice, no matter what division we were in. So it's a massive credit. Going away to Ipswich, who were flying at the top of the championship, A really impressive win from George Elokobi's side, and they're fourth in the National League South table. So if you had to ask me, would I be prepared to drop 2 places in the league to be in the fifth round of the FA Cup? Yes, I would. But my moment of the week was the Maidstone fan who, after they'd taken 2-1 up, you must have all seen this video. It's doing around everywhere. Who celebrated so hard that he skidded down the tarpaulin and then just sort of like, almost like, what do you call it? You just dive bomb into a swimming pool. The poor unsuspecting Ipswich fans have just had this Maidstone fan just fall on top of them, literally there, giving it yes. Amazing videos round. Thankfully, nobody was injured. But yeah, I hope this season Scunny fans get to celebrate a goal so much that we literally fall into a different tier. Brilliant scenes. Well done, Maidstone.
Gareth?
With the grounds we're visiting, I'll be falling down a step. My moment of the week is exactly the same. So if Max gets the points again, then I want them.
No,
I think Marco will get them this
whatever
time.
Marco says, he's going to get the points this time.
Yeah, no, that was my moment of the week.
What?
Right, mine's Tom Pugh coming back then.
Absolutely.
No, my moment, although it's not a good one, it's a bad one, but it's still a moment. And it was my sort of highlight of the week. West Brom Wolves, absolute chaos. I know it was caused by obviously a lot of Wolves fans in the West Brom end, and what sort of got me was when the commentator said, "This is something that nobody wants to see," but it's exactly why I tuned in. But let's be honest, there's got to be a line, and I think that was crossed on the other day when it gets violent in the stands, when there's kids and families. If you're into that, it needs to happen elsewhere. But for me, yeah, the moment it's very rare you see a game postponed for half an hour. I didn't actually think we'd come back out and finish for the last 15 because obviously there's a good chance players cramp up, get injured. But yeah, fortunately the game was finished and Wolves went through. But that's my moment because I don't see that very often.
I'm going to give you it, Marco.
Thank you.
So,
it's Tom Pugh coming back, really.
Idiot of the week then. So everyone's on level on a point. So whoever takes the point in this final round will win it. Who is your idiot of the week? Gareth.
Seeing as I didn't prepare this, as even though
I was going to wait to see what Max said and then jump on with the same one actually.
They're never going to be the Premier podcast. Never.
The moment of the hero. The idiot, I'll just choose as me for putting money on Scunthorpe to win 4-0. That's it.
It's weird that because you've never actually used yourself as the idiot of the week before.
I know.
Oh, that's like the fifth time you've done it.
Prepared for it.
Yeah, exactly. You're a disgrace. Max, over to you.
My idiot of the week is, and I don't usually like going full in on criticising players, but it's Tyler Denton. The more I watch the red card, the more it just gets worse and worse and worse. He's made 3 mistakes there. Firstly, he's let the ball bounce, which he shouldn't have done. He's got to take it on the volley, get it out as quickly as he possibly can. Then when it's bounced, it's gone through his legs. It's absolutely awful errors for the Tamworth players that immediately thought, oh, jackpot, got him behind him. And as soon as he gets in behind him, having already made 2 mistakes, Denton has got to let him go. He's got to back Fitzsimmons to make a good save. But Fitzsimmons is a good goalkeeper. He's probably the best in the league. There's a non-zero chance, I know you like it when I say that, Andy, that Fitzsimmons pulls that out of the bag. And nowadays, with the double jeopardy rule, yes, particularly against a good side, and Tamworth are as good as this league gets, you're far better off considering the penalty, getting a yellow card, and again, giving Fitzsimmons a chance, half a chance, to try and save the penalty, keep it in 0-0, and you've got 11 men. It was just an awful moment of defending. I think, like you said, I'm not sure the league title will come down to that. If Tamworth look like they're in too good form, they look like they're going to win it comfortably in a minute. And I hope it doesn't, because if we don't get promoted at the end of the season and the margins are really fine, that's the kind of moment that, as a supporter, or as a manager, as a teammate, you're just going to be looking at and going, I don't like. There's a modern obsession with left back's been really great going forward and forgiving them for being a bit weak at the back. I've never liked that. Cliff Burn's the greatest full back this club has ever had. And I'd be looking to give Michael Kelly a run at the starting position, at least for the next sort of 2 or 3 games now.
Right, so I have to be honest. Probably agree with your analysis of the first 2 mistakes. I completely disagree with what you said about the third one. So I said at the time it was absolutely the right thing to do. Once you've made that mistake and he's through on goal, I would have taken the red card, free kick over the penalty all day long. I'd rather play 30 minutes with 10 men at 0-0 than I would 30 minutes with 11 men having conceded a penalty where the odds 75% of them scoring from the penalty.
I completely disagree with that. Fight.
Well, it wouldn't be a fight, would it, mate? Right.
I genuinely don't think that crosses a player's mind in that moment.
Yeah.
I don't think they think take him down here's free kick, take him down as penalty. I think they're just trying to do the job and stop.
It's just a reaction. It's a reaction.
Yeah, I don't think they're thinking, oh, if I take him down here, it's a pen. It's a heat of a moment. He's made a mistake. Anyway, my idiot he's going to make me look an idiot because he's just scored. It's Rashford.
He's just scored, really?
He's literally just scored. As I've said it, I've got it on the TV here. It's Rashford. Obviously, he went out in Belfast. Didn't think anybody would notice him, which is ridiculous. Saw him doing pictures, doing this, his celebration and stuff with clubs. He's just scored again, I think. So yeah, he's a proper idiot. But yeah, he didn't turn up for training. He's been fined 2 weeks' wages. Absolute muppet, but he is proving me wrong. So award Max for points.
I don't think he's got. Has he got the second?
No, I think Hoyland scored the second.
Just say he's got the second, but it also says
he has scored tonight. Just on a point, Andy, because you mentioned playing half an hour with 10 men. Denton was sent off in the 53rd minute, and the referee played 10 minutes of injury time. Like, it's almost the entire second half. I would always rather have 11 men.
Yeah, extra 10 minutes, fair point. I'd still suggest the odds are if you give the penalty away, you're very likely to concede the goal. I would rather play, I don't know, half a football with 10 men at 0-0.
I agree.
11.
I agree, but I'm old school. It's Italian. I'm taking him down. I'm taking his shirt.
Especially, yeah.
I am. I'm just taking him down. Because you never know. They're not going to score a free kick. Penalty 9 times out of 10, it's a goal. You bring him down. I'm not gonna slander Denton. He's my player of the season. I think he's been fantastic. It's a heat of a moment. It's lost. Not even lost his head. He just made a mistake.
He's up there. He's up there.
I think Denton's been fantastic. I think he's solid defensively and going forward. I know a few of his goals have been crosses, but his delivery's spot on. He gets up and down. I've been really impressed with Denton.
I'm with Marco on this one. He's probably not my player of the season, but he's in the top 3. He's certainly in the conversation for me. I think he's barely put a foot wrong all season. He's
just a mistake.
Like I said earlier.
I'm going down Specsavers because I don't see it.
No, look at Whitehall. Whitehall against Barnsley. It's a mistake. It's a heat of a moment. But let's be honest, he's still going to bag 20 plus goals and be in a contention for player of the season. It's just a silly mistake, whereas it gets noticed more because it's Denton, because it's cost us a goal. For me, I think it's been fantastic. He's my first name on the team sheet normally.
I agree, and like I said earlier,
above Fitzsimmons is your first name on the team sheet. Above Fitzsimmons,
you can always do with a goalkeeper. Goalkeepers do well.
I am quoting you here, Mr. Italian Stallion. Above Fitzsimmons, above Whitehall. I get it with the striker. I do get that, and I think Gareth made a valid point about him playing close to the line is part of his assets. I do genuinely get that about Danny. First name on the team sheet is, I'm sorry, that's pineapple on pizza territory.
Well, it's a figure of speech. I mean, I'm going to want another 10. But
yeah.
I just think Denton has been fantastic. I feel like he has been... The reason, like, obviously we're saying Kelly comes in now, I don't think he's came close to a start because Denton's been that good.
Exactly.
I tell you, and I think at Kings Lynn, did he play centre mid at Kings Lynn? I think he played in the centre of the park and on the left for Kings Lynn as well. He can play 2 or 3 positions. I didn't expect
you're thinking of Ross Barrows, mate.
Is it Ross Barrows? I thought because he completed like the most passes last season. I read, but anyway, yeah. I might be wrong. But yeah, for me, Denton's been fantastic. And yeah, like you said, it's between him and Fitzsimmons. Also, we hadn't actually mentioned him today. Although we lost 1-0, Fitzsimmons was fantastic on Tuesday.
Yeah, distribution was class.
I
didn't go on Saturday, but I heard he was a little bit dicey on Saturday.
No, it wasn't a little bit dicey. He was actually injured.
He was struggling.
The lad's correct. Half an hour and you could see right in front of us that he'd done something to his. It looked like to me like it was his groin. If that young lad on York had been on the bench, he'd have given Fitzsimmons the hook. And we were all saying, actually, if you've got 5 subs, you should have a keeper on the bench. Yeah, Fitzsimmons is my player of the season so far.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, so I can't give the points to Max on account of I just disagree with the opinion. Like nothing personal, just disagree with it. Can't give the points to you, Marco, because Rashford has scored.
Gareth has won after
all that.
Rashford celebration.
There's like literally, I think Gareth's just played the ultimate traitors game there and just stayed quiet.
Right there, put my heart.
Brilliant.
You're like Rocky Balboa, mate. So I mean, that's all right. Anything you want to add, guys? I mean, the only thing I want to say is again mention about the charity football match we're having on the 25th of February. Be fantastic, taking on again Curtin Lindsay over 30s, and as we mentioned, the other week, doing it for a fantastic cause in Evie and the Sheffield Children's Hospital. The other thing I wanted to mention was with the Chester game coming up, and there's obviously been a lot of campaigning from Scunthorpe United on the social media side of things with trying to basically break this record attendance for National League North. So I want to probably highlight that and just say, if you can get to the game against Chester, I think we've got a real chance of breaking this attendance record.
We've just said we crumble in the big crowds.
I'm saying while you were away, we were discussing keeping it to about 3,000 that Chester.
Yeah, Barrow, keep him on the low.
So, yeah.
What?
Yeah, no, just we crumble in a big crowd, so just keep on the downward.
We're hoping for about 3,000 for 3 points.
Right.
Records
sorry.
So Chester tickets are now £78 per person.
Right, I think that's it then. I just want to ask Max, are you okay, hon?
I mean, look, I've been shocked by your jacket. This must be how people feel when they're on LSD. You just see colours.
I can vouch it is.
Yeah, and since you fell off the thing, I actually thought that 5 minutes without you was the best content we've done all season.
Yeah, that's it. Thanks for listening again to the Iron Hour podcast, your number 1 stop shop for anything related to Scunthorpe United and beyond. See you next time, guys. Up the iron.
Up the iron.
Up the iron.
Up the iron.